Welcome to the Kingsford Flivver Flash. I'm Coach Van Dusen. This is Season 20, Episode 21, Fall Football in Spring. Hey, Flivver Nation, we're glad that you tuned in to our YouTube channel or onto this podcast. If you're a regular listener, we'd like to thank you for continuing to come back. And you will note that this podcast is a little late coming out. And the reason for that is information has been changing. And I wanted to come on and give you the best update that I can about how football is going to operate. So let's back the train up back to March when the schools shut down. We came into school on March 13th. It was a Friday. And we were told that there would be no more school, that we were going to close down. Then we came back and we started doing some online stuff. And then I believe it was in June or July, we were able to get players into the weight room. Prior to coming into the weight room, they had to be screened with screening questions. Do you have a sore throat? Do you have a fever? Do you have a shortness of breath? Have you had any close contact or cared for somebody with the COVID-19? We would scan their temperatures, mark it down on the sheet. And, you know, if anybody screened yes on any of those questions, they were turned away. But we had pretty good communication with our players, and they knew that if they were not feeling well, to just not come in. It was not worth it. It wasn't worth any of that. So we went through the whole weightlifting stuff. We were only allowed to have a limited amount of players in the weight room at a time, but we had a really good rotation where students would come in and they would lift weights, and then they would go out and they would do some conditioning. And we got through all that. Then came the first day of practice. And we were allowed to practice, but we were not allowed to use the locker rooms. So just before the first day of practice, we were told we were allowed to practice in helmets. And usually we go, I believe it's 3 days, 6 practices of just helmets. And then we're allowed to put shoulder pads on for a day. And then that first Friday is usually a full contact day. So the MSHAA came out and their guidance was that we had to do the full first week in just helmets, which was fine, no big deal. So we come through, we get through that, and then the first Friday of 2-a-days, they drop a bombshell and they say that football is going to be changed to the spring. And nobody really knows what that's going to look like yet, but that happened at about 3 o'clock, 2 or 3 o'clock. So we gave the players Friday night off, and we met as a coaching staff on Sunday and just trying to kind of figure out what we were going to do. We were going to have the players all come in Monday at 10 o'clock in the morning and just talk to them. We put them up in the bleachers, socially distanced, and kind of explain what was going on. But since we met Sunday night, there was several changes, some that we probably didn't know about, and we were told that we were able to actually practice through Wednesday. So the JV and the varsity came back Monday night, where the freshmen had orientation, so they had Monday off. And then Tuesday night, it was the JV and varsity running backs, receivers, quarterback type folks, and the entire freshman team came back. And then on Wednesday night, last night, we had a full practice with everybody, and we had some fun. We played a little trash ball, which was a good time, good conditioning. Everybody had a good time. And then we ended with the Flivver tradition. If you check our Facebook or Instagram, you will see that we have all of the linemen go to one end and we punt at them, and they have to catch 10 punts. So last year, I remember that took several tries, but this time I think they only dropped 2 or 3. So after we get the 10th punt, the ice cream truck just happens to conveniently be parked right by the stands, so everybody can go get an ice cream. Big thanks to Back in Motion and Chris Moore for sponsoring that ice cream truck. So more guidance came out today. Today is August 20th, and the guidance is that we are allowed 16 practices in our region up here in the Upper Peninsula, but still no pads. We can only use helmets, no scrimmages, and no games. So we told the players last night when they left, because we didn't know what was happening, we said, get through the first week of school. We start school next Wednesday. Teachers have in-service on Monday and Tuesday. Students will be there on Wednesday. So we told them, get through the first week, do what you have to do to win in the classroom this week, and let's figure out what that looks like between the socially distancing in the classrooms everybody's required to wear a mask. And let's get through all of that, and then we will make contact with them again that second week of school, where we'll figure out what we can do, whether that's just getting players in the weight room, possibly having some 7-on-7, and just going through the motions to get through this fall so that we can hopefully have a season this spring. So there's a ton of rumors floating out there, and we're not going to operate on any kind of rumor mill. So all we know right now is football is supposed to happen in the spring. Okay, so people in the Upper Peninsula, I'm sure you're rolling your eyes right now saying, really, you're going to play football outside in March, you know, up here? You know, good luck, Calumet. Good luck, Lake Linden. But like I said, we don't know what that's going to look like. Possibly we move to turf fields. Possibly we play in the dome. You know, like I said, a million different rumors flying around there. But the only facts we have right now is we're supposed to play football in the spring of 2021. So with that, I hope that was a good update. Hopefully I didn't ramble too much. And as always, I ask that you go down in the show notes and you can like, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you're watching on YouTube. If you find us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, please give us a like and a share and tell your friends to follow along. And until next time, this is Coach Van Duzen. Invest in tomorrow by owning today.